We'll call to order the meeting at 7 p.m. Before we begin our meeting, I would like to acknowledge that Stewiacke is in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. In attendance, we have myself, Councillor Rogers Lang, Councillor LeBlanc, Councillor Lutz, Councillor Osborne, and Mark Skeen. Are there any request changes to the agenda? If not, for a motion to approve the agenda as is.
I'll make that motion that we approve the agenda for our committee of the whole session for November the 14th, 2024.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Lutz. Carried as amended. Pardon me?
All in favor, say aye.
Oh, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carried as amended. Are there any disclosures of interest? There are no disclosures. We'll now review the minutes of the committee of whole from the meeting from June the 6th, 2024. Does the council have any questions or require any amendments?
Mayor Glasser, I will, for the public record, just state that it may seem odd that we're approving minutes from the June committee of the whole, but this is the first committee of the whole official meeting since June. They were all combined committee of the whole council meetings over the summer. And this is the first time committee of the whole minutes come forward.
Does the council have any questions or require any amendments?
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes for the committee of the whole session dated Thursday, June the 13th, 2024.
We'll now ask for approval of the minutes for the committee of the whole meeting from June the 13th of 2024.
You second
I'll
it.
second it first.
Pardon me?
I said I'll second it. Pam or Councillor Osborne approved it.
Oh, I'm
I'll second
sorry.
it. That's okay.
Sorry, guys, I'm still new.
It's okay.
That's okay.
And just all in favor.
Okay,
Say aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Carried as amended. Announcements, there are no announcements or proclamation were received. We'll move on to presentations. There were no requests for presentations. Written petitions and correspondence. We received no written petitions or correspondence. Business. We'll now move on to the regular business portion of the agenda. I'll hand it over to the CEO for the CEO report of the council code of conduct.
Thank you, Mayor Glasser. I will provide council with two reports tonight. First being the CA report and the second being the council code of conduct. In terms of the ongoing since our last meeting, we did conclude the municipal election. On Wednesday, October 30th at 7 p.m. we did swear in the members of council around the table. Congratulations, and looking forward to working with you from a staff perspective for the next term. At that meeting, Councillor Rogers Lang was elected as deputy mayor in accordance with our town policy. And carrying on from there, we proceeded, we reported previously that we'd be going to councillor training held by the province on November the 4th and 5th in Halifax. Councillors Osborne, Councillor LeBlanc, and Mayor Glasser attended, as did I. 2 days of training and networking with all the new mayors and councillors from across the province. So it was very well done. In terms of the RCMP, there were no major updates. Mayor Glasser will speak to the need for a public advisory or police advisory board to be created by the town by December 1st this year. It's the first it would be the first meeting in December, a newly established committee. Regarding the planning advisory committee, just for the public's knowledge, we did have a planning advisory committee meeting established for November. It was going to be a special meeting to talk about the options in front of us in terms of development for the town. Point of order was brought to my attention that in order to proceed with that meeting, we had to have the committee's chair established. That will happen tonight. As soon as that happens, I'll work with the chair and the committee to establish that meeting, to get that back on the agenda. So we're working to get a date for that. The Riverside Drive project, we are nearing the end. Residents may note that the curbing sidewalks are in. They were doing soil today in between the curbing and sidewalks. Sodding will be coming in very soon, and the paving will be happening very soon after that. Paving for Main Street, we did have a special meeting on November the 6th to award the contract to Will Care Paving. The paving of Main Street project will commence immediately following the Riverside paving. That will be weather dependent based on the timelines in November. The asphalt plants do close sometimes due to the weather and the temperature. We've got everything scheduled and ready to go pending any major setbacks in the weather. The paving area is noted on the map from Main Street at Highway 2 all the way to the CN tracks just in front of Town Hall. In terms of a recreation update, Dennis Park Playground construction is underway. The estimated completion date is November the 22nd, 2024. Staff are continuing to work with left turn, right turn on a regional joint project to create an accessibility plan. That's with our partners from Colchester, Truro, and Bible Hill. That's a requirement under provincial legislation. We are required to have a approved plan by council by April of 2025, and we will then also need to have an accessibility committee struck and in place to govern that. The municipal physical activity strategy renewal work is underway. We've got a stakeholder engagement. We did award that contract at the last council meeting. That project is underway, and Studiac celebrates Christmas is scheduled for December 7th. Schedule events has been circulated in the November newsletter. It's on our social media and will be on our town website as well. Are there any questions?
Councilor Osborne?
I just have one question. It's about the paving. Do we anticipate any delay in getting Riverside paved by the end of November and then Main Street paved as well?
Great question. So Riverside is set to be paved in the next week and a half.
Okay.
And any complications unforeseen could disrupt the end of the month paving of Main Street, but right now we're on track.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion?
I'll make a motion that we recommend to council that we accept the CAO report. I second that.
Thank you. The second report I'm bringing forward to committee of the whole is regarding the council code of conduct.
Should we vote on the motion?
Oh, my apologies. Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried as amended.
Okay, thank you. The next report is regarding the council code of conduct. We've spoken about this a few times publicly. The province instituted the council code of conduct. The result for the town is that we are required to adopt the council code of conduct. If we did not adopt the council code of conduct as regulated by the province, funding could be withheld. So the report in front of council is that council approve and adopt a council code of conduct as outlined in Schedule A, regulations respecting a code of conduct for municipal elected official made under Section 520 of Chapter 18 of the Acts of 1998, the Municipal Government Act, and that the CAO provide notice of the adoption of the council code of conduct to the minister, and that the CAO be authorized to proceed to execute the process to retain the independent third-party integrity commissioner, and will review and report on any complaints received against the code of conduct to the town council. The requirements in the resolution and the report are the requirements that the province has stipulated that we follow. An attachment to the report is the code of conduct. It will outline the parameters around the code, our requirements to have an independent third-party reviewer of any complaints that come in. My request to council as part of the report is that as a CAO, I follow our procurement policies and publicly issue a request for proposal to solicit and retain for the 4-year term of council, an independent third-party reviewer that would be retained if needed. The financial implications in the report are hard to present at this time. It would be based on an hourly rate, and it would be dependent on if a code violation comes in. So there's two things with an independent third party. If a complaint against the code comes in, the independent third party would review it. If it is not a violation of the code, it would be shut down. If it was triggered to a full investigation, then a full investigation would be required. So with that, we would retain somebody that would come in basically on an hourly basis to review. Can take any questions.
Is there where do you find an independent third party integrity commissioner? Is there a company that does
Great
such
question.
things, or is it a person who does it in their spare time, or?
Good question. So the code they have in front of you puts forward some requirements, and we put that in the RFP. So they have to have certain credentials and or experience in terms of investigation, potential HR backgrounds, things like that. We put that all in the RFP and we use that to evaluate. So in my experience, I've done this before. Independent third parties have been solicitors or independent consultants with certain credentials. It could be different people. So we would rank and evaluate based on the submissions.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
I'll make that motion that council, that we recommend to council that we approve and adopt the code of conduct, and that council authorize the CAO to proceed to execute the process to retain an independent third-party integrity commissioner.
And I'll move it.
Councilor LeBlanc seconds.
I'll second it, sorry.
Okay, now we have the committee's.
We need to vote on them.
Okay. All in favor?
All right,
All in agreement? Yeah, so we'll move on to the committee of council. I thought about this based on everybody's availability, hoping that everybody is in some agreement. It is open for discussion and we'll possibly move people around. For our audit committee, I've got Pam Osborne as chair, with Councillor LeBlanc as the counselor that's on the committee as well. I don't have to read these other people, do I?
Yeah, they've already been publicly appointed by council and they're in their seats until I believe it's November of 2026.
Business and Tourism Committee. I have got Councillor Pam Osborne as the chair. Bylaw and Policy. I put Councillor Suzanne Lutz as the chair, along with Councillor Pam Osborne and Councillor Rebecca Roger Lang. Our Planning and Advisory Committee, I've got it chaired by Pam Osborne, Councillor Pam Osborne, and Councillors David LeBlanc and Councillors Rebecca Rogers Lang as well. Community Parks and Rec and Special Events, chaired by Councillor Rebecca Rogers Lang and Councillor Pam Osborne on there as well. Our Police Advisory Board, I have myself as chair on that committee, or that board, or pardon me, committee. And I have Councillor Osborne on there as well, but Councillor Susie Lutz, pardon me, also has agreed to be on that committee. Bylaw and policy. We have the chair, Suzanne Lutz, and Councillor Pam Osborne, and Councillor Rogers Lang as well. And I have to flip the page, kind of guys. Accessibility, we've got Councillor Susie Lutz on that committee. The Colchester East Hants Regional Library, Councillor Pam Osborne and Councillor David LeBlanc. The Northern Regional Solid Waste Committee, Councillor David LeBlanc. The Regional Emergency Measures Organization, we have myself, and we have Councillor Susie Lutz. And that's it for the committee.
If I might, you can take me off police advisory and keep Councillor Lutz.
There's no more discussion, you can.
Any more discussion on that?
I would rather not chair the community parks and do one of the other ones that I've been in for 8 years. And more comfortable in. I don't mind being on the committee, but
You wanna share a bylaw?
hmm,
You wanna share a bylaw? And I'll sit on it?
I can do that. So,
I mean, is that? I've not sat on the committee.
So you're gonna chair the bylaws and policies?
Yeah.
We do Parks and Recreation and special events, we didn't want to chair that one.
well. Preferably not.
Did Councilor Osborne share that one? Or that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I was just thinking.
Well,
That would be 1, 2.
I can, we don't meet a lot, but I mean, you're gonna have to be there anyway.
Yeah, I can share it. That's fine then. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
For now,
How about this? I will commit to chairing town days again. Will that help?
Mhm.
Okay,
Only because, yeah. anyway.
yeah.
so then do you just still wanna share a bylaw or would you rather?
Yeah.
Okay, that was in lieu of not sharing,
Mhm.
Parks and Recreation.
That's the question, because I'm not sure what the terms say, can you have co-chairs on council appointments? Is that a situation you've ever had before?
I don't know.
know if we've ever had it, to be honest with you, because I was thinking the same thing, if we could,
If
if it's a possibility.
If it
we
was a
could
workable issue,
co-chair
you
the
could choose to
recreation.
work together and co-chair committees. If there's two of you.
I think there's, yeah, there's only the 4 of us, so,
Mhm.
yeah, that's fine. Co-chair the Parks and Rec, that's fine.
you're still gonna chair bylaw and policy.
Correct.
There's no more discussion, we can ask for a motion.
I'll make that motion that we recommend to council the committee appointments from Mayor Doug Glasser on November the 14th, 2024.
I can second that.
Seconded by,
Yes.
carried as amended.
Question.
Oh, thank you, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. All yes. Okay, now we can open up for discussion, the New Year's Eve levy, location and time. Any thought? I needed us, no.
I would like us to do our own, but I don't know.
Me personally, I think it should be something that can involve the whole family rather than just the adults where they sit down and drink. Can we not have something more family oriented was kind of what I would like us to do.
But there was no drinking,
There's no drinking,
not till the Legion does theirs.
but it's still at a drinking establishment.
The
No.
kids could come, it was
The kid-
upstairs.
Yeah, the
at
kids can come,
Legion.
yes,
And it was from
12 to 1, wasn't it?
12 to 1, it was earlier.
And then a Legion is from 1 to 10 or whatever.
You have to read it.
Okay.
So the one that the town had was upstairs.
Yeah.
Foodland brought over, we got the catered, I guess, for lack of a better term, from Foodland, and they brought over like sandwich trays and veggies and that type of stuff. And it was family friendly because Rachel's come down, and it was just kind of the council, and it was a drop-in for residents for that hour, hour and a half, or whatever.
Okay, cause I just,
And then we went home, and then the Legion had theirs at 3 o'clock it started, which was the drinking, not family friendly one.
Do we pay for the Legion? I just think we have the community center.
I don't know if we did.
Let me ask the question. And I have no problem going to community center,
Mhm.
neutral ground, I get that. What kind of group? How many people do you expect to attend? That's what I'm getting at.
The last 2 years, we have had no more than 25 in the hour.
Okay,
So can I just throw something out there that we used to do when Counselor Stoddard was here? We used to do chowder and baked beans and homemade rolls. And we had it over at what's now called the Parks and Rec building.
oh, yeah, okay.
But I believe that that's not an option because it's in disrepair right now inside. I guess I kind of like to get back to doing something like that. All the food was donated. I know, I brought the chowder and I think Counselor Stoddard at the time brought the baked beans. I don't think it's about the community center being neutral ground. I think it's about we own that asset.
Sure we do, but
Yeah.
25 people in that big hall?
well.
That's
I would
why
just
I'd like
more
to-
people to,
Yeah.
Okay,
feel more welcome in coming, and I just, in my opinion, they may not feel comfortable with going to the Legion, just in my mind, because in my mind, I think of it as an establishment where alcohol is
There's a
served.
lot of kids there, you'd be surprised.
pardon? Oh, I'm sorry,
The
didn't-
Bolton family and all their kids came every year.
I mean, and that building's used as other things, like, there's a martial arts class there, that kids go to, so they don't necessarily just associate it with a drinking establishment.
technically upstairs is not a drinking establishment unless the Legion is meeting.
Okay,
But do we not rent that hall? I thought we did.
It wouldn't have been much. I think you get less people up at the community center, to be honest.
yes.
Only because I find the
More
community
localized.
center is a little bit more off the beaten path,
Yeah,
and it's not as friendly to either walk or drive.
yeah. That's why I was thinking
Mm.
what's now called the Parks and Rec building, but, CAO, again, and I were in there and it's certainly not in great repair to have it there.
But I did like your idea of the chowder and
Yeah,
chili.
Or we could still do something like that too, even if we had it there.
Oh, yeah.
could we do it downstairs here?
in this building.
Yeah. Cause if we're only getting 15 people,
Prefer
but,
not to have the public in a secured staff area with, we
yeah,
could have it upstairs in
But-
this area.
then
but then
You're
it's
facing
the
the stairs, so
accessibility
how are
is
they-
not good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So to answer one of your questions, we would get charged to the Legion. We did rent that
Oh,
space
we
for the
do
election
rent
and
it.
we had just paid for the space both times.
okay,
The determination was made that, it was more accessible being in the center of town. Ramps were there, which we
Right.
still do have at the community center. It's not too far. I'm not aware, there's a kitchen on the second floor of the Legion
yeah.
or.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
there
there?
is.
Okay,
What's
so it's the same amenities, just
Yeah.
different locations.
Since
we-
we have to rent it, sorry,
Did we pay for the Legion for the levy?
I think we did.
I was not
If-
here, but I would guess we would.
If we have to rent something, and we've continuously gone to the Legion and provided the Legion with funds over the years, could we, and I'm particularly looking at Counselor LeBlanc for a second, could we not look into the Life Point Church? And spread
That's a
it
great
around?
option, yeah. Cause they got a nice kitchen facility, they got a nice
It's
hall.
all
yeah,
level.
Just right over
If
here.
they've got a
Yeah.
nice parking facility,
Yeah,
could we, if we're looking at having to rent space, could we not? Like,
kind of a dumb question, what day is January the first? Besides January the
I
first,
think it's during the week.
I mean, the day of the week.
I don't think Sunday would be a winner.
Wednesday.
Okay, great, yeah, I think that's a great idea,
I mean, I don't have the connections at that church
neither
anymore.
do I.
I mean, I know.
Well, I
some
was just
people-
over there for the senior social and Pastor Don seems
Okay.
like a
And-
fairly reasonable fellow.
And he's on the Parks and Rec, he comes to Parks and Rec committee, so. It's just,
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
And I know they have the tables and the chairs and everything, they were all set up, so
and it's all level, it's,
Yeah,
there's
one
no
level.
stairs at all.
that's actually probably a better thing for the elderly. I would just like to try to get more of our community involved. You know, I don't know how we do that, but I just want them to know they're all welcome.
Would we be able to find out how much it would cost us to rent that?
Of course we can.
And
And
then-
the Legion as well, perhaps, what we paid and compare the two.
So we can table this till,
Yes, we can take that offline. I can come back. Is there gonna be a lead from counselors that you, your worship, that's gonna ask?
I'll go over and talk to Pastor Don, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
And then you could probably, or I could walk over to Legion too and find, I'll take care of it, I'll talk to them both.
Okay.
And see what's what.
Or just send an email to Allison.
I was gonna say, I think that's that, isn't it?
Yeah,
If you,
Allison.
if you'll take care of that? Okay, I'll go over and see Pastor Don. But table that,
We'll bring it back on for the council meeting.
we will have to vote on that, do
No.
To my knowledge, general discussion.
we? Okay. So we have, we'll move on, we'll bring that up on our 21st meeting, again, we'll revisit the levy. The bylaw and policies, we had, nothing to review. Citizens' comments, if there's anybody that has any kind of comments, can they go through Zoom?
Nothing in the chat, no hands raised. There are 9 people online.
Is there any in the Q and A?
So we have no comments from any of the citizens. That'll move us on to the mayor's report. Mark is kind of, touch base on things. I was just gonna, bring up that, we attended a meeting in Halifax for the new and returning council, November 4th and 5th. Attending was myself, Councillor Osborne, Councillor LeBlanc, and Mark Seaman, our CAO. I think it was informative for me, and I think I took a lot away from it. And I'm hoping to learn more as we go. We will be attending the NSFM, and that stands for Mark.
Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities.
Thank you. Meetings, we're attending those, November 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th in Halifax. That's all that I have. We will move on to, our counselors. Counselor LeBlanc, is there anything that you would, like to say?
Other than you just noticed that, I did attend the, new counselors orientation training, November 4th and 5th in Halifax, along with yourself and, Counselor Ashland.
Counselor,
I have nothing today.
sorry, guys, it's just like, anyhow. Counselor Rogers Lang,
I also have nothing.
nothing, and Counselor Osborne.
I just want to say thank you on a well-run first meeting. I know you've been nervous and it went well, so I just want to say thank you. And as well, I attended the counselor training. I particularly enjoyed the information on rules and the information on the code of conduct. And even though I've been very involved in municipal politics, I even learned a lot. So it was very well run and very informative. And I look forward to attending the Federation of Municipalities fall conference with the mayor and Councillor LeBlanc.
Wonderful. All right, we will now go into an in-camera session. If I could get a motion to go. In camera.
I'll make that motion that we go in camera at 7:32.
Can I get a second?
I will second it.
All in favor? Carried as amended.
Your worship, just for the public, we'll note that we'll go in camera, we'll log off of the Zoom session. Once we come out of camera, we have no motion to come out of camera. There are no notice of motions or reconsideration on the agenda. So we will adjourn, so we will log off at this point.